I think we want to define like my first time, that would be y'all. That would be so you don't want to start, if you just have, so you need to have on Facebook. And you can connect with us, so carry and so just say that. So you say, so it's even the $100 today, I think. We can make money revenue. You keep up, or today will be a final. Let's see. If you don't have any life, but in person. In person. In person. Yes, and then there's second one. You can set up third method and second. Okay. That Wednesday, walking, just walking and dividing the way to do that. You can still do a game. You can still have a game. You can still set up. I can set up for people who call it. But that I can require that. Let's think about it. When you start to meet people, you get out. I think if you think it's one about to the body district and the district, that's not. I just wanted to know because you know that we can only do some, but we can only do some. Let's think about setting up a bike on. I mean, we can do
Good morning. My name is Tony Gonzalez. I'm the judge of the Robstown Municipal Court. Today's date is September 18th, 2024. Before I get started, I'm going to ask that everyone please put their devices on mute um, until I call your case, okay? Um, just making sure that everybody is checked in. All right. All right. Once again, today's date is September 18th, 2024. We're here on the arraignment show cause docket. That means that you're here for the first time to answer to your case, or you've already been before the court, entered in a plea of guilty or no contest, have been asked to do something and you failed to do it, and you're now here to answer as to why. Some things I need to let you know, the Robstown Municipal Court is a court of record. Everything that's being said today is being recorded. It's important that when you address the court that you speak clearly, um, so that the recorder can pick up everything. Okay. The way this is going to work, when I go through the docket, I'm going to call your case. When I call your case, go ahead and unmute your device. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, and then I'll swear you in. I'm then going to let you know what you're being charged with, and then I'm going to ask you, how do you plead? You're going to have three choices. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. A plea of guilty and a plea of no contest are basically the same thing, in that I will find you guilty and then go to the sentencing portion of the case. The difference between a plea of guilty and a plea of no contest is that when you plead no contest, what you're telling the court is that you're not saying you did it, you're not saying you didn't do it. You're just not contesting the matter. But what you're also telling the court is that there's enough evidence before the court at this time to substantiate a finding of guilt. If you plead not guilty, then your case is going to be set for pretrial. At that pretrial, there will be a prosecutor present representing the state of Texas. The prosecutor is the individual who brings the case on behalf of the state of Texas. And so he has the ability to do a number of things, from negotiating a plea bargain agreement to recommending dismissal of the case if he feels that it's warranted. The point being is that at the time of pretrial, you will have an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor. If there's anything you want him to consider, any evidence, any videos, any other types of recordings, any affidavits, that's the time to do it, so that you can try to get your case resolved. A lot of times people come to today's proceedings wanting to talk to the judge and let the judge know why they feel that they have a valid defense or why they feel their case should be dismissed. Although I would love to hear what you have to say, I'm not allowed to by law. The only time I can hear the facts of the case is if we are in trial or in a hearing and the prosecutor is present. However, if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, prior to your sentencing, you can tell me whatever you want regarding your case. If you're unable to get your case resolved at the pretrial, you will then be set for trial. It's going to be your choice whether you want a trial in front of the judge or in front of the jury. Okay. Some important things I need to let you know. Every case that is set in this court is a Class C misdemeanor. The fines normally do not exceed $500. You have the right to have a jury determine your guilt or innocence. You can waive your right to a trial by jury, and you can have a trial before the court, which is me. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will not be appointed to you because there is no chance of jail time in these cases. But an attorney can help you understand the law, can help you understand procedure, and can help you make decisions regarding your case. If you choose to go forward without a lawyer, I have no choice but to hold you to the same standard as if you were an attorney. You also have the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You do not have to testify in your case against yourself. It's the state's burden to prove their case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. As you sit there today, you are innocent until proven guilty. Does everyone understand these rights? Okay. Some other things I need to let you know. There are consequences beyond this courtroom on certain charges. For instance, if you're charged with having no insurance and I find you guilty and you get a conviction, you could also be subject to surcharges from the state of Texas, which I have no control over. The point being is that if you have any questions whether your particular charge is subject to consequences beyond this courtroom, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. If you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could affect your status in the United States. If you find yourself in this situation, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. Finally, if you find yourself in a situation where I've ordered you to pay court cost and a fine, and you are unable to pay, there are other ways to meet your obligation. There's an application you can fill out. After you fill it out, the court will review the application. If I find that you qualify, I can do a number of things from placing you on an extended payment plan to allowing you to do community service in lieu of fine and cost. So once again, if you find yourself in a situation where you cannot pay, please ask the clerks for that application, and we will find a way to have you comply with the court's order. Okay. Once again, this is a court of record. Everything's being recorded. As a result of this being a court of record, whoever sits here as judge in this court has to be an attorney. I've been an attorney for 28 years, and I've been the judge of this court going on 10 years now. So we're going to go ahead and call the docket unless there's any questions. Any questions? All right. Court calls cause number 24050000179, State of Texas versus Toby Escareño. Toby Escareño. Toby Escareño. Court calls cause number 24070000570, State of Texas versus Fabian Fraga.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fraga, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand up. You are Fabian Fraga?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fraga, you are charged with the offense of public intoxication alleged to have occurred on or about August 10th, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of that charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand it?
Yes, sir.
As to the charge of public intoxication on or about August 10th, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
The court will accept your plea of guilty. Anything you want to say before I go to sentencing, Mr. Fraga?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Fraga. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm finding you guilty. I'm placing you on what's called 90 days deferred disposition. What that means is that if you do what I ask you to do and you pay what I ask you to pay in the time period I ask you to do it in, the case will get dismissed.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a fine of $230, cost of $81 for a total of $311. In addition, you have to do a alcohol awareness course online, 4 hours.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Um, can I pay online? Online?
Um, Crystal, can he pay online?
There is, in the citations that he can.
Does he
Judge,
have to-
it'd be best to pay with us first in the beginning, if he can with us,
That way
because
he
I have
gets
to
the-
check the online system to see if it allows with the public intoxication.
Okay, so Mr. Fraga, if you call the Robstown Municipal Court, they'll tell you what to do to get them paid. That way you can get the benefit of the deferred disposition. But in addition, you need to sign off on your paperwork. I don't know if you live in town or out of town. If you live in, and this goes for everyone, okay? It's important that after today's proceedings that you come by the Robstown Municipal Court no later than 5 today or at the latest 5 tomorrow to sign off on your paperwork. If you don't live in the area, you can call the court clerks and they will make arrangements to email you the documents that you can then email back to them, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Fraga, any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Fraga, once again, make sure you come by the Robstown Municipal Court or call the court to make arrangements.
Yes, sir. I'll be there today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls cause number 24070000567, State of Texas versus Benjamin Lee Garcia. Benjamin Lee Garcia. Benjamin Lee Garcia. Court calls cause number 24070000566, Eric Luna. Eric Luna. I believe I see you, Mr. Luna, trying to get your device off of mute.
You can hear me, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Mr. Luna, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. You are Eric Luna?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Luna, you are charged with the offense of assault by contact family violence alleged to have occurred on or about the 18th day of August 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, where you are accused of having physical contact with Stacy Carizales by way of hitting her. Are you aware of this charge?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, before I go any further, because this is a charge of family violence, I'm required by law to read you the following statement. If you are convicted of a misdemeanor offense involving violence where you are or were a spouse, intimate partner, parent, or guardian of the victim, or are or were involved in another similar relationship with the victim, it may be unlawful for you to possess or purchase a firearm, including a handgun or long gun or ammunition pursuant to federal law under 18 U.S.C. Section 922 G9 or Section 46.04B of the Texas Penal Code. If you have any questions whether these laws make it illegal for you to possess or purchase a firearm, you should consult an attorney. Okay, Mr. Luna. As to the charge of assault by contact, family violence alleged to have occurred on or about August 18, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
The court will accept your plea of guilty. Luna, do you still have contact with Stacy?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Now you understand this is a family violence charge, so if you have prior family violence charges, this could be stacked on top of that, and it could be your next family violence charge could become a higher degree. Okay, that's how it works with family violence. Okay, so just so that you're aware of that. All right, Mr. Luna, I'm going to place you on 90 days deferred disposition. It's going to be a fine of $215, court cost of $81, for a total of $296. And you're going to have to do 4 hours anger management online. As far as the $296, Mr. Luna, when can you pay that?
Would I be able to set up a payment plan or?
Well,
would
the
that
way
be-
you're on 90 days deferred right now.
Mhm.
So if you get it paid by the end of the 90-day period, you'll be in compliance.
Okay.
After that, if you have to, if you need more time, then you need to fill out the application that we were telling you about.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with Stacy Carizales and she wanted to go in person. She told me if she can write an affidavit, maybe because she didn't want to press charges. I know the state picks it up. But other than that, how would she be able to go about that?
Well, you already entered in a plea of guilty, Mr.
True.
Luna.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but
Okay.
if you want to withdraw your plea, I'll allow you to withdraw your plea. You can set this matter for, I mean, you can enter a plea of not guilty. We'll set this matter for a pretrial, and if Miss Carizales comes in between now and then, that's something the prosecutor will look at and consider. Um, if that's something you want to do.
Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and go up what I plead, and just gonna take care of it that way.
All right, Mr. Luna, then you need to come by the Robstown Municipal Court no later than 5 o'clock today, at the latest 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Court calls number 24070000568, State of Texas versus Ronnie Martinez. Ronnie Martinez. Ronnie Martinez. Court calls number 24070000164, 165, and 166, State of Texas versus Reynaldo Moya. Reynaldo Moya. Mr. Moya, if you can please unmute your device.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right. Mr. Moya, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Are you Reynaldo Moya?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moya, you are charged with 3 offenses. The first being expired registration. The second being failing to maintain financial responsibility. And the third being possession of drug paraphernalia. Um, all alleged to have occurred on or about August 1st, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of these charges?
Yes, sir. I was aware of the first and the third one.
You're aware of what? I'm sorry?
I was aware of the first charge and the third charge. I didn't know about the second charge.
Yeah, they charge you with not having insurance. So you've got 3 charges.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go one by one. As to the charge of expired registration, alleged to have occurred on August 1st, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. As to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to the charge of failing to maintain financial responsibility on the same day, how do you plead?
I don't understand that one, sir.
It's saying you didn't have insurance.
Okay, yes. Guilty as well.
And as to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Court will accept pleas of guilty on all 3 charges. On the expired registration, have you gotten your registration yet?
I'm in the process of doing that. I had told the officer I had just bought that car cash from a buddy, and it was expired, and I was using it. But I'm working out of town still right now. I'm still not over there in Robstown. So whenever I get back over there is when I'm gonna take care of it.
All right. Just for future reference, if you get a ticket for expired registration and you get it taken care of within 20 days, it's only a $20 compliance dismissal. Now you're looking at a fine of $110, cost of $81 for a total of $191. All 3 of these, I'm going to put them on 90 days deferred disposition. On the financial responsibility, do you have insurance yet, or is that something you're also gonna take care of when you get back?
I have to take care of it whenever I get back, sir.
Okay, just make sure no one's driving that car.
No, sir, it's parked outside my house.
The fine on that one is $265. Cost of $81. For a total of $346. Then on the possession of drug paraphernalia. That's gonna be also 90 days deferred. A fine of $230. Cost of $76 for a total of $306. So, Mr. Moya, you're looking at quite a bit of fines here. You're gonna have 90 days to pay them off, okay? If after that 90-day period, you need additional time, you need to ask the clerks for the application, fill it out, and we'll see what we can do for you, okay?
Okay.
You have any questions?
Um, just the 90-day period, other than the as far as like a payment plan.
Right. So for the 90 days, you can give so much money every week, every month for 3 months, where whatever you want to give. If by the end of the 90-day period you still have a balance, you're going to fill out. You ask for the application. Once you fill it out, I'll review it, and then we can put you on an extended payment plan.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Moya. Any other questions?
Can I hear the balance one more time?
The balance. Okay, individually, it's going to be 191 on the first charge. Let me go ahead and add them up for you. It's 191, and then it's 346, and then 306. So a total of 843.
Okay.
All right, make sure you come by the Rossville Municipal Court no later than 5 o'clock today, at the latest tomorrow, to sign off on your paperwork.
Well, that's the thing is I'm out of town right now. I wouldn't be able
Okay,
to.
or you can call the clerks and make arrangements to have them email it to you.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you go unless you have any other questions, Mr. Moya.
Can I grab a phone number for the clerks?
Crystal, give them the number, Crystal.
361 387 4589, and it's going to be option number 4. For the
Sorry,
court.
ma'am. Can I have that number one more time? 361
387 4589.
4859
4589.
4589.
And it's gonna be
And option number 4.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. You're excused. Court calls number 2407-000-564, State of Texas versus Deborah Pack.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. You are Deborah Ann Pack.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pack, you are charged with the offense of assault family violence alleged to have occurred on or about July 27, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, where you are accused of striking Brittany Rendon in the face. Are you aware of this charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You understand what you're being charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, I'm required by law to read you the following admonishment. If you are convicted of a misdemeanor offense involving violence where you are or were a spouse, intimate partner, parent, or guardian of the victim, or are or were involved in another similar relationship with the victim, it may be unlawful for you to possess or purchase a firearm, including a handgun or long gun, or ammunition pursuant to federal law under 18 U.S.C. Section 922 G9 or Section 46.04B of the Texas Penal Code. If you have any questions whether these laws make it illegal for you to possess or purchase a firearm, you should consult an attorney. All right, Ms. Pack, as to the charge of assault family violence alleged to have occurred on or about July 27, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. As to that charge, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
The court will accept your plea of not guilty. Ms. Pack, if you have to have a trial on the matter, do you want it in front of the judge or in front of the jury?
What's the difference, or I don't think,
So, yeah.
I've never been through this before, so I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So you have a choice whether you want the case to be decided, the guilt or innocence phase, a portion of the case to be decided by the judge. I would be the one to hear the case, and then after hearing all the evidence, I would be the one to decide whether you're guilty or really what I'm deciding is whether the state meets their burden of proof of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You can do that, or you can choose to have a jury of 6 people from the community who will then listen to your case, and then they will decide whether you are guilty or not.
I guess with the judge is fine, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pack. So the next thing you're going to be receiving is a notice in the mail of your pretrial date. It will be conducted just the way we're doing it right now, except the prosecutor will be present and you'll have an opportunity to speak to him. You also have the opportunity to file any pretrial motions you may want the court to hear at that time. Okay. Are you still at 911 East Avenue B?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, then that's where the notice will be sent.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
My father's went through some serious health issues right now, and I have had a lot of appointments as I take care of them. And I have an appointment coming up where he's going to have a procedure done at a hospital in San Antonio. How long is it going to be before this happens, or how?
I'm not sure, Ms. Pack, but if the date that we give you falls within those days that you're not going to be available, if you'll just let the court know, then we will continue the matter to a day that you are available.
Okay, because I don't know, like I said, they're doing a biopsy, so I don't know if they're gonna
No,
keep
I
him in the
understand.
hospital or what, so I don't know what the length period is gonna be,
No,
so.
I understand, Ms. Pack. Like I said, if you receive the court date and if it's something you have a conflict with, if you let us know, we'll work with you, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're excused.
Thank you.
Court cause number 24070000571, State of Texas versus Amelia Romero. Amelia Romero. Court cause number 24070000563, Isaac Shelton Jr. Isaac Shelton Jr. Court cause number 24070000562, Brandy Suarez. Brandy Suarez.
Yes.
Suarez, let me go ahead and change your name on your device. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Are you Brandy Suarez?
Yes.
Ms. Juarez, you are charged with the offense of public intoxication alleged to have occurred on or about July 14th, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of this charge?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Before I go any further, Ms. Juarez, I know you came in late to the courtroom, so I need to let you know some important rights that you have. Every case that's heard out of this court is a Class C misdemeanor with fines that normally do not exceed $500. You have the right to have a jury determine your guilt or innocence. You can waive your right to a trial by jury, and you can have a trial before the court, which is me. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will not be appointed to you because there is no chance of jail time in these cases, but an attorney can help you understand the law, can help you understand procedure, and can help you make decisions regarding your case. If you choose to go forward without a lawyer, I have no choice but to hold you to the same standard as if you were an attorney. You also have the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You do not have to testify in your case against yourself. It's the state's burden to prove their case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. As you sit there today, you are innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
Also, Ms. Suarez, some other things you need to know. If you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could affect your status in the United States. If you find yourself in this situation, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. There are consequences beyond this courtroom on certain charges. For instance, not having insurance could result in surcharges from the state of Texas. If you have a question whether your particular charge has any consequences beyond this courtroom, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. Finally, if you find yourself in a situation where you are unable to pay any fines or court costs that I may order, there are alternative means to payment. If you let the clerks know, or if you let me know, we will give you an application. You fill it out, and if you qualify, there's a number of things I can do, from placing you on an extended payment plan to having you do community service in lieu of fine and cost. All right, Ms. Suarez. As to the charge, public intoxication alleged to have occurred on July 14th, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. As to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And what I didn't let you know, Ms. Suarez, you have three choices, whether you want to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. A plea of guilty and a plea of no contest are basically the same thing, in that I'll find you guilty and then go to the punishment portion of the case. When you plead no contest, what you're telling the court is you're not admitting you did it, you're not admitting you didn't do it, you're just not contesting the charge. But what you're also telling the court is that there's enough evidence before the court at this time to substantiate a finding of guilt. So I just wanted to make sure you understood those things before you entered your plea. So once
Yes,
again,
I understand.
okay, Ms. Suarez, do you still want to enter in a plea of guilty?
Yes.
All right. The court will accept your plea of guilty. Ms. Suarez, I'm going to place you on 90 days deferred disposition. What that means is that if you do what I ask you to do and pay what I ask you to pay in the time period I ask you to do it in, the case will get dismissed. It's going to be a fine of $230, cost of $81 for a total of $311. You're also going to be required to do an alcohol awareness course online.
I have to pay for that class as well, right?
Correct. As far as the $311, by when can you pay that, Ms. Suarez?
I don't have a time period, but I can make payments. I'm currently working right now, so I'd be able to make payments.
Okay, so the way it's going to be, you're going to have 90 days, right? That's how long I'm placing you on this deferred disposition. So if you can pay it off in the 90 days, that's all you need to do. You don't need to request any type of you don't need to request the paperwork. But if you need more than the 90 days, then you need to ask the clerks for the paperwork so we can put you on an extended payment plan, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Suarez, make sure you come by the Rocktown Municipal Court no later than 5 o'clock today, at the latest 5 o'clock tomorrow, okay?
All right. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You're excused.
Uh-huh.
Court calls cause number 24070000569, State of Texas versus Leobardo Vargas.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vargas, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. You are Leobardo Vargas?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, Mr. Vargas, you are charged of the offense of theft of property alleged to have occurred on or about August 9, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, where you are accused of taking a water pump from O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Are you aware of that charge?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand it?
Yes, sir, I do.
As to the charge of theft of property alleged to have occurred on August 9, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, sir.
Court will accept your plea of guilty. Mr. Vargas, you ever been charged with theft before?
Never, sir.
Let me explain to you. A charge of theft is considered a crime of moral turpitude. Okay, so even though this is a misdemeanor, it's serious in the sense that it can follow you forever, right? You're trying to get a job. They see that you have a theft charge. It has a negative connotation to it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to place you on a type of probation that if you do what I ask you to do and you pay what I ask you to pay, the case will get dismissed. So it's not a conviction. Okay.
But it'll still pop up. I'm so sorry, but it'll still pop up on background checks regarding.
Were you arrested for this charge?
No, sir, was not.
It just depends on what system they use. Sometimes, if you didn't get arrested, it may not show up. This looks like it was just a citation. So it's really going to depend on what kind of background search they use, but you won't have a conviction if you do what I ask you to do and pay what I ask you to pay. Okay.
Certainly, no problem.
I'm going to place you on 90 days deferred disposition. It's going to be a fine of $200, cost of $76 for a total of $276. Were you working at this store, Mr. Vargas?
Yes, sir, I was.
All right, Mr. Vargas, kind of read your statement. Normally, I would have you do a theft course. I don't think you're a career thief. I don't think you need to take that course. It looks like you did something that you normally probably wouldn't have done before, right?
Also, I was about to say, boss. Also, I'm sorry. I do actually have proof where the actual water pump was returned back to the company. I have it on file. A screenshot where I actually sent the boss that same day where it actually got where I actually accused for it.
I'm not I'm not asking that you pay restitution for it. I'm just asking you to pay the fine and court costs, okay?
Certainly, sir.
All right, Mr. Vargas, you have any questions?
Yes, sir. For the payment, where do I make that? Because I am actually out of town at the moment.
If you call the Robstown Municipal Court at 361-387-4589, option 4, the girls will tell you how to do it over the phone.
Certainly, sir.
All right, you're excused, Mr. Vargas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, you have, Mr. Toby Escareno's out here, in the lobby area. He's in person.
Okay, you want to bring them in? Or have them bring them in?
I'll get the call.
Okay.
Get the phone.
Morning. Let me go ahead and call your case. Court calls number 2405C006, State of Texas versus Tobias Carreño. Just Carreño, if you can please stand up and come right here in front of me. Right there is good. All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can put your hand down. You are Tobias Carreño? Mr. Escareno, you are here today on a cause where you're being charged with assault by contact, family violence alleged to have occurred on or about May 3rd, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, where you are accused of pushing and throwing Ruby Gill. Are you aware of that charge? You understand it? Before I go any further, I'm required by law to read you the following admonishment. We get to it. If you are convicted of a misdemeanor offense involving violence where you are or were a spouse, intimate partner, parent, or guardian of the victim, or are or were involved in another similar relationship with the victim, it may be unlawful for you to possess or purchase a firearm, including a handgun or long gun or ammunition pursuant to federal law under 18 U.S.C. Section 922 G9 or Section 46.04B of the Texas Penal Code. If you have any questions whether these laws make it illegal for you to possess or purchase a firearm, you should consult an attorney. Because you were outside when I was reading everybody else their admonishments, I need to let you know some things, Mr. Escareno. Every case that's heard out of this court is a Class C misdemeanor. Fines normally do not exceed $500. You have the right to have a jury determine your guilt or innocence. You can waive your right to a trial by jury, and you can have a trial before the court, which is me. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will not be appointed to you because there is no chance of jail time in these cases. But an attorney can help you understand the law, can help you understand procedure, and can help you make decisions regarding your case. If you choose to go forward without a lawyer, I have no choice but to hold you to the same standards as if you were an attorney. You also have the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You don't have to testify in your case against yourself. It's the state's burden to prove their case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. As you stand there today, you are innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand these things? Other things I need to let you know, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could affect your status in the United States. If you find yourself in this situation, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. If you find yourself in a position where you are unable to pay your fine and court cost, if you are ordered to do so, there are all alternative means to payment. If you let the court know, there's an application you fill out. If you qualify, then I can put you on an extended payment plan or put you on a community service or a combination of those things. Finally, there are consequences beyond this courtroom on certain charges. For instance, not having insurance could result in surcharges from the state of Texas. If you have any questions whether your particular charge has any consequences beyond this courtroom, I strongly suggest you consult a lawyer. Okay. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to read your charge again to you. I'm going to ask you, how do you plead? You have three choices. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. The plea of guilty and the plea of no contest are the same thing. And then I'm going to find you guilty and go to the sentencing portion. The only difference is that when you plead no contest, what you're telling the court is that you're not contesting the matter. You're not saying you did it. You're not saying you didn't do it. But what you're also telling the court is that there's enough evidence before me at this time to substantiate a finding of guilt. If you plead not guilty, then your case is going to be set for a pretrial. At that pretrial, there will be a prosecutor present representing the state of Texas that you will have an opportunity to speak to. If you have any evidence you want him to consider, any witnesses you want him to listen to, that's the time to do it. He has the ability to do a number of things, from recommending a plea bargain agreement to recommending dismissal of the case if he feels it's warranted. Okay? If you're unable to resolve your case at that time, then we'll set it for trial. It's going to be your choice whether you want it in front of a judge or in front of a jury. All right? Any questions? All right, Mr. Scareno, as to the charge of assault family violence alleged to have occurred on or about May 3rd, 2024 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. As to that charge, how do you plead? Not guilty? The court will accept your plea of not guilty. We're going to set this matter for trial. If you have to have a trial on the matter, do you want it in front of a judge or in front of a jury? Judge? All right, Mr. Scareno, if you go to the front clerks, they're going to have you sign off on your paperwork, okay? Thank you.